In a kingdom of lakes and willow trees, Emperor Li Wei begins the morning walking through a garden that glitters with dew. Court musicians tune their instruments, silk banners breathe in the breeze, incense curls like pale rivers in the air. Emperor Li Wei listens, but something in the music never quite reaches the heart he carries quietly inside his chest. Chief Minister Wen says there is a sound beyond the palace walls that outshines every instrument here, a bird called the Nightingale. And this is where it gets interesting. Emperor Li Wei lifts an eyebrow, just a fraction, then orders Chief Minister Wen to bring this voice of the forest to the throne. In the courtyard, servants light traveling lanterns. Nets and baskets clatter softly. Moonrise lays silver across the lotus ponds, and from a balcony high above the water, Emperor Li Wei stares into the dark, imagining a song he has never heard. The palace sinks into night. Crickets stitch their small music into the silence. The gates open with a hush and the search begins. Under a roof of bamboo, Chief Minister Wen and the servants follow a path that gleams like wet ink. Fireflies drift in soft constellations. Chief Minister Wen asks a woodcutter if the woodcutter has heard the nightingale sing. The woodcutter points toward a valley where river light becomes silver, and where, he says, the human heart forgets its own weight. The forest breathes deeper. An echo appears on the air, clear, delicate, and somehow bigger than the night around it. The group freezes. Even the leaves seem to listen, and that's when the magic truly starts. Beneath a waterfall that polishes the moon, the nightingale perches on a dark stone. The bird is small, gray, bright-eyed, nothing jeweled, nothing crowned, until the music begins. Chief Minister Wen bows and tells the story of an emperor who longs to hear the truth inside that song. The nightingale considers the faces in the glow of lanterns and agrees. At dawn, the grand music hall fills with silk and sound. Chief Minister Wen approaches with a golden cage. Emperor Li Wei leans forward, and the hall exhales as the small gray bird steps onto the rim and, for one breath, says nothing. Then the nightingale sings, "Every wall disappears." The melody is a river that remembers mountains. It rises like morning and falls like rain on warm stone. It is simple and perfect and wild. Emperor Li Wei's eyes shine. Ministers forget their speeches. Even the garden, just outside the doors, holds itself perfectly still. And here's the turn you won't want to miss. Emperor Li Wei gifts a golden perch, a court of admirers, a feast of lanterns and praise. The nightingale bows, polite, grateful, and sings again. The song is beautiful, but now it carries a faint distance, like wind behind glass. One morning, a gift arrives from a neighboring emperor, a mechanical nightingale made of silver and sapphire. Wind the key, and gears whisper. Jewels catch the sun. The artificial bird spins and sings with clockwork precision. The court gasps on cue, and this is where everything starts to shift. Emperor Li Wei smiles proudly and places the jeweled bird beside the living bird. The real nightingale listens to the imitation, tilts a bright eye and, quiet as mist, flies out the open window, back toward branches and river-light days run together. The jeweled bird repeats its flawless tune until flawless begins to sound thin. Ministers still applaud, but the rhythm is a habit now, not a heartbeat. One afternoon, a gear catches. A spring complains. The song stutters, then coughs into silence. The bird bows its jeweled head and never moves again. Emperor Li Wei lies among silk curtains, pale as moon milk. Breath a soft thread, dust settles on the mechanical gift beside the bed. Shadows gather in the corners, and from the draft at the door comes a visitor none may refuse. The spirit of death, cloaked like fog, quiet as old snow. The room fills with images, moments Emperor Li Wei cannot change and cannot forget. He reaches for music. Ministers have none to give. The mechanical bird is silent. Emperor Li Wei whispers for one last song, any song, to carry him where courage cannot. And then from the window a note, single, clean, and alive, finds the night. The nightingale returns, feathered in moonlight, and perches at the sill. The melody begins, the way a river mends the banks it kisses. The spirit of death pauses, listening. The song names dawn and winter and mercy by names no human tongue can hold. The spirit of death steps back, then further, and dissolves into the dark as if the song had politely shown the door. And this is the moment everything changes. Morning opens the room like a golden fan. Emperor Li Wei's eyes lift to the window. The nightingale glows in the soft light, small and certain. Emperor Li Wei thanks the bird, no throne in his voice now, only gratitude, and promises to remember that the truest treasures cannot be caged without breaking their worth. The nightingale says that whenever Emperor Li Wei truly needs comfort, the song will find its way back, not for reward or ceremony, but for the simple dignity of a listening heart. The wings flash gray and silver. The bird rises into the garden air, and dew becomes applause on every leaf. Courtiers rush in. They stop, astonished, as Emperor Li Wei sits up with color in his cheeks, and a quiet smile. Emperor Li Wei asks Chief Minister Wen to mend the jeweled bird, not to fool the ear again, but to remind the palace of what imitation can and cannot do. Days later, in the garden, Emperor Li Wei walks without an audience. Flowers bow as clouds pass, koi ripple through reflected sky. Emperor Li Wei listens. The melody arrives the way wild things do, unannounced, unmistakable. The nightingale lands on a bamboo branch, cheerful as sun on tea. Emperor Li Wei laughs softly. Gardeners set down tools. Children near the wall pause their game and lift their faces toward sound. No golden cage waits. No script is offered. A song meets an ear, and that is all, and that is enough. Emperor Li Wei understands now. A palace can be full and still feel empty if wonder must ask permission at the door. He lets the song be what it is, free, surprising, alive. The nightingale spreads wings over lotus blossoms, rising above the towers that once tried to measure music by weight and glitter. The garden brightens. Bells speak softly on the wind. Chief Minister Wen bows, not to a throne, but to a truth he cannot argue with. If you loved this story, subscribe to our channel for more magical fairy tale adventures. And keep the magic alive. Until next time, my friends.